So first question, which one of the following statement is false? Okay. During roasting, moisture is removed from the ore. Second one is the ore is freed from almost all the non-metallic impurities. Third one, calcination of ore is carried out in the absence of blast of air. Last one, the concentrated zinc blend is subject to calcination during its extraction by pyrometallurgy. See, for zinc and pyrometallurgy, it is not subject to calcination. It is by what? By roasting. It's a very simple thing. And again, one more thing we have to identify from this question is false. So these are the type of entrance questions we can get. Correct. So we have to read the question very clearly and mark it. So answer is option. For one, it is option D. Because it is clearly of roasting and not of calcination. Second one. Second question, let me see. Which one of the following sets of content number represents highest energy level? Okay, so there is a shortcut for the same. Highest energy level in the sense n plus L rule. Correct. So here it is what 4 plus 0, 4, 3 plus 1 is 4, 3 plus 2 is 5, this 3. So option 2C is the answer by using n plus L rule. This is the rule we are doing. Is it clear? Are these two questions clear? If it is clear, you can give an S, or if you have any doubt, let me know. Okay. What about now? Can you see? Now can you see the screen? Okay. So what I was taking with second question is, in the second question, we are using what? For finding the highest energy level, we use what? N plus L rule. Okay. So we just add 4 plus 0, that is 4. Next is 3 plus 1, 4. 3 plus 2, 5, 0. So option C is the answer. Is it clear now? We just use N plus L rule. That's all. For finding the highest energy level. Very easy question, and we can get full marks in this. Perfect. Third one. When O2 is converted into O2 plus. Correct. Both paramagnetic character and bond order increase. Bond order decreases. Paramagnetic character increases. Option D, paramagnetic character decreases and the bond order increases. Correct. So if O2 is converted, okay, let's assume if O2 is converted to O2 plus, obviously what should decrease? Paramagnetic character should decrease. First point. Paramagnetic character should decrease. So here again we use the process of elimination. Correct? So this is wrong. This is wrong. And bond order. Obviously, those who studied this thing, O2 and O2 plus, obviously the bond order will increase. So option D is the answer. 3D. Again, we use the process of elimination. Bond order is increasing. It's a very clear thing in this. Because oxygen, what is the bond order? 2 is the bond order. O2 plus, what is the bond order? 2.5. O2 minus, what is the bond order? 1.5. If we know this particular thing, it's very easy for us to do. Correct? If it is O2 2 plus, the bond order should be 3. Just increase 0.5, 0.5. That's all. It's a very easy question. Okay. So how do we determine it is paramagnetic is based on number of unpaired electrons? Okay, first thing. So oxygen. Okay, it has got two unpaired electrons. Two unpaired electrons. So it's highly paramagnetic in nature. Whereas O2 plus is having only one unpaired electron. So which means the paramagnetic property decreases. Again, for entrance thing, we need not know about the full molecular orbital theory. Bond order. Bond order, there is a formula. Again, for this, we need not remember any formula because end of the day, this is an entrance thing. For oxygen, it is 2. O2 plus the bond order is 2.5. Just add 0.5. O2 2 plus it is 3. And minus meaning subtract 0.5 from this. This is 1.5 and the other will be 1. Okay. So this is the important thing which is going to repeat. Fine. And oxygen is a very, very important element, especially in entrance examination. Fine. So I hope you are clear with this. If you have further doubts, at the end of session, I'll clear all the doubts. Fourth one, in chromite over the oxidation number of iron and chromium are respectively how much? Fourth one. So first thing is chromium. So there is a higher chance. This is just like after seeing the question, immediately we should take the answer. Iron and chromium. Chromium is, if you have solved a lot of question, chromium is +3. Without solving itself, we can tell it's +3 because we studied and prepared for the board exam. We just see where +3 is coming. Just mark option D in this. That is, if you don't have time, and these are for the quick thing. Because if you're writing an entrance exam like CET or Commit K, there is no negative marking. If there is no negative marking, then we have to go for the K. Fifth one, number of naturally occurring p block elements that are diamagnetic is. Fifth one. Correct? So the number of naturally occurring. So what is the answer for this fifth one? P block element. Very easy question this is. The answer is C5 because helium, then neon, argon, krypton, and xenon. Only if you know the periodic table well, we'll be able to do it. So we have to study the periodic table. So from each and every question, the examiner is giving us a clue. Okay, you have to study from these kind of things. That's all. So that's what you have to actually focus. Sixth one, if energies of the two photons are in the ratio 3:2, their wavelength will be in the ratio, first one 2:3, 9:4, 3:2. Last one is 1:2. So guys, it's a very simple formula in this. Okay. If the energy ratios are given, E1 is to E2 is to what? It's given as 3:2. Correct? I think it's given in the question. Let me see what is the ratio. Yeah, two energies of two photons in the ratio 3:2. Their wavelength will be in the ratio how much? So E1 is to E2 is to lambda 2 is to lambda 1. So this is equal to, this is the important thing in this. If you know this, then what is lambda 1 is to lambda 2 ratio? It is 2:3. Direct answer. Hardly 2 to 3 seconds for this. Yes. Also, you can use E is equal to H nu formula, where nu is equal to Hc by lambda. Correct. That's how we get this direct equation. E1 is to E2 is equal to lambda 2 is to lambda 1. This is the equation we have to do. So this is option A is the answer. 2 is to 3. So mostly in these kind of questions, it will be either 2 is to 3 or 3 is to 2, something like that. Okay, it cannot be either this or this. This quite it won't be D for sure. Which one of the following is not true for benzene? It forms only one type of monosubstitute product. There are 3 carbon-carbon single bonds and 3 carbon-carbon double bonds. Heat of hydrogenation of benzene is less than its theoretical value. The bond angle between carbon-carbon bond is 120 degree. Which option is? Here again, the question we have to be very clear. It is not true, which means it should be false. There are 3 carbon-carbon single bonds and 3 carbon-carbon double bonds. So what does benzene contain? Benzene contains partial double bond due to resonance. Benzene contain partial double bond due to resonance. So that statement is false. So option B is the correct answer for this. Eighth one, exception question. Generally, the first ionization energy increases along a period, but there are some exceptions. The one which is not an exception is which one? For eighth question. The one which is not an exception. The first ionization energy of magnesium is more than that of sodium. The first ionization energy of magnesium is more than that of sodium. So this is not an exception. So you can just copy down the same thing for eighth question. Eighth question, option B. Once done, please let me know. Very good. Ninth one. So we got something called ortho and para. Correct? O nitrophenol and P nitrophenol is there. So they're telling vapor pressure of B, okay, at a particular temperature is higher than that of A or lower than that of A, or higher or lower or same as that. Fine. So that's the kind of question we have got. So generally we should see that since it is ortho, one is ortho and other is para. Correct? O-nitrophenol and P-nitrophenol. So we clearly understand that same, again, process of elimination we'll use. Higher or lower, we can see that is also not a correct statement. It's a hypothetical one. So it can be either A or B. Correct? So here it is. Vapor pressure of B, correct, of ortho is higher compared to that of para due to intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Due to intramolecular hydrogen bonding, vapor pressure of B is higher. Option A is the answer. So is it done? Just write down ortho. Correct? Ortho nitrophenol is greater than para-nitrophenol because of what? Temperature, vapor pressure of B at a particular point is more because of intramolecular hydrogen bonding. That's all. 10th one is an easy question. Let me know what is the answer. We got something called C6H6 is there. C2H6 is there. Yes. So here option D is the correct answer. Correct. It's a direct question. This is actually a direct question. There is nothing much in this. There is nothing much to do in this. That's the thing. Eleventh one. A mixture of CaCl2 and NaCl weighing 4.44 gram is treated with sodium carbonate to precipitate all the calcium minus calcium carbonate. The calcium carbonate so obtained is heated strongly to get 0.56 grams of calcium oxide. The percentage of sodium chloride in the mixture is how much? It's a very easy question this is. I'll just draw it and show to you how to proceed for this. Calcium oxide. This is the calcium carbonate is given. CaCl2. Clearly in the question is given 0.56. This is one, everything is in grams. 1.12 grams. And they are asked to find as percentage of NaCl we have to find from this. So if you want, we can multiply everything with 100. Okay, if you want so. How to get this particular thing is the question. If you want, we can multiply this by 100 so that this will become about 56 grams, 112 grams. Correct? And sodium chloride we should know. It's also given in the question. See the question here. Atomic mass of calcium oxide, everything is given in this. And NaCl is weighting 4.44. Correct? So what is the amount of sodium chloride? So amount of, before calculating the percentage, I'll just do here amount of sodium chloride. It's clearly given as what? 4.44 minus this 1.12 grams. 3.32 percentage. Percentage is nothing but 3.32 by what? The total thing, 4.44. Into 100, that's it. So it goes by clearly. We can just round off nearest answer. 75. Please copy it down, and if you got any doubts, let me know. Yeah, so perfect. So please try the 12th question. 12th question. So this is a titration problem. So normally this is a, since it is a very old paper, 2011 chem. Okay, so generally these kind of questions are there in engineering. Engineering chemistry, this question is there. So we can't find, see, once we go back the years, 2019, 2020, this is 2020 obviously. Once you go back the years, we can find the questions are very, very difficult, especially if you go 2004, 2005, or even 2000. The questions are very difficult. This is one such of question. Okay, so the problem here is we have to find the equivalent solution. Equivalent solution we have to find. So here in this question, especially the 12th one, we have to find the number of equivalent of HCl remaining. We clearly understand the question after adding 50 centimeter cube of 0.1 N NaOH. So this is nothing but equal to what? Clearly given. This is a formula we have to use, a simple formula. So since I don't want to get into the formula, then directly I'm doing from the book. So 0.2 into 50 is what? It will be, let's do this particular thing, we'll get, let this be by 100, 50 into 200, so 10 I'll get. That is 5. Correct? So I think I'm getting 5 by 100 as the answer. Is it correct? Up to this solving? Yes. Let me just see the question. "50 centimeter cube of 0.2 N, fine. Titrate against 0.1 NaH. Okay, fine. So 0.2 and 0.1 normality. Complete by 0.5 NaH. Fine. Now we have to find the volume of, next page you have to find the volume of 0.5 N KOH required. Correct? So volume of this is nothing but V by 1000 into this 0.5. Okay, and this we have to multiply with what we, the answer we got here, the number of equivalent, that is 5 by 100. 5 by 100 we have to multiply with this thing. So 5 by 100 into 0.5 by 1000. But if we do that thing, I'll just erase this particular thing. So we have to find this V, this particular thing. So the symbol is V is equal to what? 0.5 by 100 by 1000. This is 5 by 100. 5 by 100 into 1000 by 0.5. So what is the answer we are getting here? Into 10 into 10, if you do here, you'll get 500 by 5, we're getting 100 as the answer. But if you look at the option, 100 is not possible. Okay, because if we just see this thing, we can add only 50 centimeter cube. Again, one more, so maximum it can be what? 50. So it cannot go beyond 50 centimeter cube or whatever it is, a volume. correct? So the only thing is, we have, since it is centimeter cube here, I think I done a small mistake. This should be by 1000. I had to just do it. This should be by 1000. Because 100 centimeter cube if I get, that answer is wrong. So this should be by 1000. So answer is 10 centimeter cube. Is it clear? Because everything is in centimeter cube. So I had to divide by 1000. That's all. So please copy down this thing. Only thing is that we have to know the formula for the same. This centimeter cube, so we have to divide by 1000. So once you want me to go to the next page, let me know the same. Because even if I forgot to write this thing, if I get the answer as 100, that is not possible because only we got 50 centimeter cube of the solution, titration solution. Okay, so it is by 1000. So please note down this thing. Once you're done, let me know. Answer is 10 centimeter cube. So once you're done, let me know the same.